Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Real Estate Agent School YouTube channel, home to the Door-to-Door Agent Bootcamp. In this video, I will be walking you through my very first door knocks and what I have done different and what I now coach agents to do to take their closing ratio on the doors from subpar to so consistent their calendar can't fit the business they have procured. I've been coaching agents on door knocking for years now, and the number one thing my mentor taught me, aside from practically everything, is that you have to record yourself. When I started knocking doors, I tried to record myself religiously. That way I could circle back around and listen to what I was asking and what the prospect was saying to figure out how I could improve. That is why inside the Door-to-Door Agent Bootcamp, I break down the 6 main objections and how to respond, as well as do this live with my students. Let's get into an example of one of my very first door knocks, and it hurts me to listen to these. Okay, so this is one of the very first door knocks I ever did. I mean, literally maybe the second door I ever knocked on. This is the actual recording from my phone that we're going to listen to, and I'm gonna break down for you of how I could have improved and just how bad it really was. So listen in on my first ever door knocking recording.
Hello.
Hi.
My name's Cameron. I'm with Keller Williams.
Okay.
Did your neighbor happen to come by and let you know I was going to come see you?
No.
Okay. No worries.
Like, what's Keller Williams?
I'm a real estate agent, and so there was a condo just like yours that sold one building over, so we're just kind of going around talking to people. And there's such a high demand for this area right now that we were asking if people are looking to sell their homes, and so I don't know, have you ever considered it?
I've only been here.
Okay, so let's pause there. I talked forever. The number one thing when you first knock on a door is being as quick and concise as possible. Second, you could hear in my voice, I sounded like a little boy. I was so nervous, I was shaking, and this makes a huge difference when knocking doors. You have to be incredibly confident when you knock on any door. You can know nothing, but the number one thing you want to focus on is mean it when you say things and act like you are the expert in everything you talk about. My words were actually pretty good. The things I said, introducing myself, asking if the neighbor knew I was gonna come by, which is one of my intro questions I usually use. But then my pitch was ages long. I kept talking when you want to make it as short and concise as possible. So a better alternative to that would have just been asking, hey, I have a buyer looking in this neighborhood. Have you ever considered selling your home? And just stopping and seeing what they say. If we continue on to this conversation, this woman goes into not even really knowing what Keller Williams is, and saying that her sister is about to be licensed as a real estate agent. One of the most challenging objections to get over is when a family member of a prospect is an agent. And so the one thing I want to learn from this specific script is the intro, because the later in the conversation, that's hard to handle. There are ways to overcome it, which I do teach, but it's more challenging. But if you can make sure your intro is dialed in, you're incredibly confident, and you know exactly the pitch you're gonna be using, you'll be 10 times more effective. Okay, this next one is a really great example of a pretty solid start, but I had no idea where to take the conversation from here and ran out of questions to ask this prospect. Listen to this one and see what you think.
Hello. Hi. My name's Cameron. I'm with Keller Williams. Did your neighbor happen to let you know that I'd be coming to see you?
No.
Okay, no worries. We just have a lot of people that are interested in this area. Have you ever considered about selling your home?
No, not really.
Not really? How long have you lived here?
Like 2.5 years.
2.5 years, okay. Is this kind of like your end game? You want to stay here for
For the time being.
For the time being? Okay, cool. Is there anything you would change about it?
I mean, just cosmetic stuff.
Cosmetic stuff?
Not interested in anything right now. So.
Okay, yeah, no worries at all. If you ever need anything, we're always in the area, so maybe we'll swing back in a year or so, and maybe things will change for that. Awesome, have a good one.
So this prospect, I said I'll come back in a year. Us as real estate agents, we know that's not going to work. If that person thinks about selling, I didn't get contact information and I told them I'd be back in a year. I am never going to be thought of again, and I'm never going to remember to go back to that prospect house. And so to recap, I had a pretty good start. The couple of questions that I continued to ask were really solid questions, like asking, is this his end game or forever home? Or if he would change anything about his house. And he was just saying cosmetic things. And then I didn't know where to go from there because he said, we just aren't really thinking about anything at the time being. This is why you have to have an absolute arsenal of questions to ask. You have to know 15 questions for every single response that you get so you can continue the conversation and really find out more about the client's situation. So in that scenario, if he's just not really looking into anything, we haven't even scratched the surface of that client's objection. So we need to dig much, much further with many more questions. And if he wants to change cosmetic things, or if he's waiting for something else specific to move, we need to find that out. And so using more questions and going deeper into the conversation is what's going to drive those results further. So I'm going to give you an absolute gold mine of a tip. If you ever get lost or feel like you're struggling in a conversation, use this question to save yourself. Ask the prospect, if you could save X amount of money, calculate it for your market, by moving sooner, would it be something that you consider? You're going to grab the client's attention and bring them right back into the conversation so you can further the conversation to the point of closing or setting an appointment. Let's hop over to the next recording. Okay, this one's a little bit of an interesting scenario, and so I want you to listen while you think about what you would have done or what you would have responded with.
Hello.
Hi.
My name's Cameron. I'm with Keller Williams. Do you own this house?
No.
Okay, are your parents home or
No.
the owner? Okay, no worries. We're just coming around because there's a lot of people that are interested in this area of like buying these places.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if your parents are ever planning on selling or?
Yes, but it's gonna be renting to someone that we already have it planned out for in the summer.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you know where you guys are going?
I'm going somewhere else and he's going out to South Jordan.
South Jordan. Did he already buy a place out there?
His fiance has a house there.
Oh, okay. So there's no purchasing going on there, just
Right.
kind of switching things around.
Yeah.
Awesome. There you go. Well, thanks for your time.
Yeah.
And you can let them know that I came around because we're talking to a whole bunch of the neighbors. There's a house that sold around the street, and here I'll give you.
So I just try to end the conversation by giving a card or magnet, which I don't even do anymore. I can't remember this conversation, obviously, but this could have been a teenager, a younger adult with sounds like just a dad that was potentially making a move somewhere else. And I did literally nothing. I didn't know how to respond. I didn't know how to ask questions, and I didn't know how to further the conversation. The reason I give you this recording is because sometimes when you knock doors, it's going to go nowhere. You're going to have many conversations where nothing's going to happen. You're not going to get contact information. You're going to get stumped, and it's going to be really, really challenging. Door knocking is hard work, but it has been the biggest blessing in my life. It's taught me how to work hard, taught me sales skills, and has taken me to where I'm at in my career right now, not having to knock doors and having a stream of business from the database I built from doing it. I hope from these recordings, you're able to learn that it takes finesse and skill to know the right questions to ask, and 2, it's really hard, and to not be as hard on yourself. So now going through those examples, hopefully this gives you an idea that just starting is all that matters. I was all over the place in how I approached the doors. I had a good foundation, but was unpolished. One thing that holds most agents back is the fear that they don't know what they're doing and want to figure it all out before they start. And that is the worst thing for you to do. Just get out there and begin, and you will learn so much quicker. If you want to learn the exact questions I used to become a top producing agent without prospecting, email me at cameron@realestateagentschool.co or go to realestateagentschool.co, and I'd love to chat with you to see what I can do to help you. I'll see you in the next YouTube video.